Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dream House live stream series. We are streaming on Instagram on my phone, and we are streaming on my laptop to YouTube so you can get a better screen recorded version and view, and then they live forever as replays on both my pages. So I'm so excited you're here. This is a different live series. I was doing weekly only the facade series before, and I decided that I wanted to start mixing it up. So this week on our new series, we're doing a dream house series. So I'm going to start by designing what I would want my dream house to look like. I've gathered some Pinterest images, and I have a list of program that I want in my house. So really that's all I'm going off of, and I'm going to be building this whole thing in Revit over the course of the next few weeks and on this live stream every Monday, and I am excited to get going. So I'm going to prop up my Instagram onto my tripod, and we're going to get started drafting. All right. So I have my Instagram all set up. And the better view is definitely on YouTube again because we're live streaming my screen so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. But here we go. So I have these images I'm going to show you, and they're just all from Pinterest. And this is where I'm getting my inspiration. So I love these open stairs in the living room, and like how there's a landing up there that looks down and over. It's one of my favorite things. I really love a full curtain wall in the living room. Like, I'm not a traditional house girl at all. This is going to be very open concept, lots of glass, very modern. And that's sort of the style I found I liked the most. So again, you're going to see living room, large glass, the floating stairs off into the corner, and then that balcony again looking down. This is another example I liked, just sort of having that double height living room space with a large double height wall of glass. Like, that's super attractive to me, and that's definitely something the last three images have in common. I love the way that these trusses in a house look. Having the structure become part of the space, honestly, is like a chef's kiss. I don't know how I'm going to incorporate this into my whole living room thing I have going on with the double height space, but I want to try and do something with the structure. You'll see the next few Pinterest options I have are with the structure. I have a few more mixed in. This was just a quick kitchen I liked. Again, very modern, sleek, clean. I don't know how deep I'll get into with this series, if I'll do a kitchen elevation or anything like kitchen detail-y, but I just thought I'd throw that in there because I liked it. So again, this is now from an exterior look. I really like the full peak glass, floor to ceiling, and I love the way it looks on the outside as well. I really loved this door. Again, thought it was cool that it was in the peak of the triangle, but mostly I really loved this door. Again, an example of like a triangle peak, and then this is a little bit more traditional. Has like a 4-wall system opening on the bottom, which is pretty cool, and definitely has more traditional vibes, but I also like that this whole wall opens as opposed to the other ones, which were just full curtains of glass. So let's keep going. This is another inspiration picture, and I love, 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 love this one. Like the volume of it, how there's a connection piece, and then the two sides, how they're both peaks and like they're full glass, and the black and just the metal roof. Everything about this I really love stylistically. I don't know if that's a word, I just made it up. But this is the volume and the form that I'm most likely going to go with. I'm going to go with something in the middle and then two peaks on either end. And I really want to be able to utilize like that double height space, but it might only work like that on one side, and then the other side might look more like the traditional one where there was like a break and then had the 4 doors in the bottom, just because I know I want a double height space for the living room, but on the other side of the house, it's probably going to be bedrooms, so there's probably going to be a floor slab. So that full curtain wall, you need a really thick mullion. But we'll see, we'll mess around. But this is definitely the volume and the style that I really find appealing. And I'm not really sure how I feel about the garage and the deck, roof deck thing, kind of off to the side attached to it. I kind of feel like the garage could have just been on the bottom of this. I'm not really sure why it's attached. I'm not really sure if I'm even gonna do a garage. I didn't put a garage in my program list. I didn't put a finished basement with like a gym and a sauna. Didn't put a garage. So we'll see. This looks like an afterthought, and at this point my program of a garage is an afterthought, so I hope that I don't end up with something just tacked on because I don't like the way this looks with this tacked on. But everything else, chef's kiss, we're doing it. This is a front view, and you can't see the garage, but I just love how this comes up and over and extends out. It's so beautiful. And it's a little different on this side. It doesn't come fully down, but you can see on the inside, look at that structure. I think we're going to get an interior view from this space, and I really like the way these scissor trusses look. But I was thinking maybe of doing like something like this, but with the other truss that I first showed, which has like the columns on the side and just has columns going outline of the peak, and it's not like trussy in the middle. I kind of like the scissor truss look, but I also like the clean, crisp lines that the first structure gave me, which was, again, the columns and then just the outline. So I love this connection piece. I don't know if mine will be see-through like that. Everything about this up top I really like. And let us see if there are any more images. So this is from the inside. The scissor trusses. I really like this kitchen. I like how it's open in the peak, lights coming in, and I like how the truss is like above it. Again, I feel like I would probably not do a scissor truss, and I would do like this one. I think this one works without a truss configuration is because this is probably structural tongue and groove plank. So that's my guess. I don't really know, but if they're doing it, clearly it's possible. So that's the look we're probably going to go for, but I like how they're using the structure in with the program of the house. We saw the living room, how that looks. We saw the fireplace. I think that's really cool. The kitchen, and then the bedroom. This is really nice as well. I really like how they're utilizing the full height of the roof and putting glass peaks up in there. This is more of a traditional little house detail, but I really like how the roof has those little like pop-ups above the windows. I think that that's a really nice detail, and I was thinking of possibly doing that and like the connection piece between the two triangle masses when I model it, because I think it has like a little bit of this traditional flavor to it, and I like that it just like opens up the roof line and breaks up the roof line. So this is what that would look like on the inside, which I also really liked. I liked how it was like in a hallway, and then you just had the little dormers popping up the windows and the sunlight was coming through. I thought that was really well done, and I think it's a perfect spot for like that connection piece between the two volumes we were looking at before. This is from further away, so we can see that this is also the 2-peak on the end with a connection piece volume, but this is obviously a lot less modern. This is more traditional, and I still really like it. I obviously prefer a lot more floor-to-ceiling glass, so we saw those pictures before, but in terms of this volume and doing those roof dormers, I think that this is going to look pretty interesting when I combine it with the peaks that are full front and full modern. Again, this is just a view from the back of that house. And then this is a view of an interior space, again with structure that is not necessarily a scissor truss or has like web joints in the middle of it. It's just the outline of the roof with steel, and it's very clean. I am obsessed with how this looks. I really like that this whole front face is glass, and then somehow they were able to do a whole wall that opens up, and this is your kitchen. I think that structurally, I have no idea how it's working, but it's built. This is not a rendering from what I can tell, and it looks pretty cool. But I really love this. So those are all the images. I'm going to run you through my program list real quick so you know what I'm talking about. And then we're going to get started. So my program list is in the basement. We have a finished open area. I want there to be a small bar and a TV lounge down there. I want to have a gym with a sauna and a shower. I want to have an area to also get ready down there. It's like a locker area. Then we have the first floor where you enter. There'll probably be like a little front deck. You open up to the foyer, living room to your right, open, double height space, the nice stair coming down, like balcony overlooking the top. And then to the left of the foyer will be the kitchen, and then to the back will be the formal dining space and the deck. We'll see how this all lays out. It's just throw own program out and try to visualize where it would work. Second floor, all the bedrooms, so the master with the walk-in closet and the master bathroom, of course. 1 guest room and then 2 offices, so Billy and I can each have our own office space. And then in my office space, I really want like a wall of bookshelves, like nicely designed, because I love books. And I just want to have a whole wall of a bookshelf. So that is what's happening. I feel like I should put my blue light glasses on, but then it's just going to reflect the screen back. But normally I wear blue light glasses, so if I'm like squinting right now, there's a lot of light and no blue light glasses. I am excited. Here we go. We are starting in our Revit model. So we're going to start with our walls, and I'm just going to outline the mass of the house. I don't honestly have a sense of scale right now. I should go, now that I have some walls drawn, I'm going to go to the elevation view. Excuse me. Got the sniffles. All right, so I have 3 levels set: top of flat roof, top of slab, and roof peak. I'm going to change this to be top of second floor, and I'm just going to have this be roof. I'm going to change this to top of first floor. Okay, now we're going to go back to our model, the walls, and I'm going to select them. Whoops. I'm going to press tab, and that's going to highlight all of them. And then I'm going to do the top constraint to be to the roof for now, because I don't really know what walls I want to go all the way up and what walls I want to go all the way down. So I'm just going to start with them all going from the first floor to the top. And I'll worry about the basement after. I'll probably model the basement out of a foundation wall, and then I would like wrap it in a finished layer of gypsum, but we won't get too crazy. I'll probably just draw a foundation wall and then put finished program down there. I am gonna sound sniffly now because I sneezed, but we're gonna go and measure, and I don't know what a good size is. I don't have a good sense of scale at the moment until I start putting in furniture and seeing how much space I actually need. But I'm going to start mapping out this volume, and you're going to be like, what is she doing? Because I'm just laying out some ground lines right now, and they're wonky. Then I just go and straighten them out after, and then I use the trim command, which is TR, to join them. And then I'm going to align these walls with the AL tool. And then I'm going to do the dimensions, which is DI, and I'm going to see what these are drawn at. So the middle one, I'm going to make 8. And I'm going to make this, okay, we're going to do this 14, and we're going to make this one smaller because this is the side the kitchen and the back is going to be on. We want the living room to be really big. We want to see how far this is sticking out because we don't want anything too crazy. So we have 5'6". 5'6" probably good. So I'm going to align these two fronts. And then I'm going to move this back wall so that it aligns. And then I guess I'll leave this at 6'6" for now, and we'll mess around with it and see if we need to make it bigger. We'll also make this 12. And we'll make this 4'6", and then we'll just align everything. So now all these faces can grow and shrink as we're going, but this is the general outline and mass of the house. So I have the front wall 5'6" back, and this one 4'6", because I want to put a front porch entrance here. So I want there to be a little bit more depth, and I want people to feel like the house is like hugging them when they step in the front door. So the front door is going to go here. I'm just going to put a standard door that's loaded in. Happens to be a nice front door with side lights. This is the open area. And I'm thinking that we have the living room over here. See, I'm already getting a sense of scale that this is probably a little bit smaller than I'm thinking it is. So I'm going to type in a sofa and start placing some furniture because I need to figure out if the space is big enough. So it's definitely not. I'm going to make this 16 feet. I'm going to put the couch a little bit back there. I'm going to throw some countertops in just to see. And this is really how I will start designing a house. I'll look at some inspiration and stylistic images, and then I will get the program and just start going and figuring out as I go how things are fitting and feeling in the space and how much space I actually need. I feel like a lot of people have a hard time, I'm just going to say it real quick. I feel like a lot of people have a hard time sometimes figuring out how to start in Revit. And really, it's just making sure that your walls are associated to a level so that when you actually know what that level is going to be later down the line, you can just easily move your walls. That's a really good tip. You don't have to know right away all the parameters. As long as you set a parameter for something, then you can easily change it later down the line when you have more information about what you're building. When we're doing residential projects, it's pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of different things or wall types or configurations you're going to have with commercial projects. So it definitely can be a lot easier, but I would start placing the program, figuring out the volume of it, and sort of shaping it as I go. So it'll be interesting to look back when this series is done and see this is where I started with the floor plan and where it ended up. And over the course of the weeks, how my model develops and grows as the concept and design develops and flows. So I think this is going to be really cool for me to just look back on and see like a documentation of my design process. What would be even cooler is if one day this house actually gets brought to life after many iterations, I'm sure, because I'll think about things and make them better and want to make them better. I really like a front kitchen, a front-facing kitchen. I feel like a lot of kitchens I've visited are always in the back of the house, but I really like a front-facing kitchen. I like the idea of being able to like wash dishes and look out your front yard and see the cars passing. And so I'm putting our kitchen up front. I'm also going to place the sink up front. And I'm not placing anything special. I'm just placing some basic blocks that I have loaded in. They're not called blocks. That's a CAD term. They're called families and components because we're in Revit. So yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how this ends up shaping up in the end. It's not going to look anything like it does now, but this is our living room. I want to have the stairs and the upper balcony be here. So when you come in the foyer, you're looking up at a balcony and then the stairs are kind of here. So I feel like this back wall might end up being aligned just so the stair can follow it. Or maybe I'll make like this like a back bookcase behind the stair. I don't know. We're gonna see what this turns into. So I'm gonna put a placeholder in for the stairs and I'm gonna change them to be 7.75 with 10-inch treads because that is the residential code in the area that I live. Just fun little code things in the United States of America. So I changed the parameters of my stairs, my rise and my run, my max riser and my tread. Now I'm just going to draw them. They're going to go from the first floor to the second floor. We have to go 10 feet. That's what I have the ceiling heights at right now, which is fine. And I'm just going to draw out my stair as a placeholder and sort of, again, for scale. So this is a 3-foot wide stair. That's fine. I kind of like a grand stair. So I'm going to make it 4 feet and then I'm going to adjust the house exterior around it because look how massive this stair looks compared to, well, everything else. I definitely don't want the stair to be too close when you come in. I think I also want there to be like maybe wing walls when you come in. I might even make the foyer bigger just because I feel like I want to put like a bench or something and the side lights are there. So I clearly started off very small. I'm probably going to get more furniture because I only have this sofa and I hate it. It's the standard Revit one. It's too small and I don't like that it's so small. I want a more realistic one. So let us see. I'm just thinking right now about different orientations for the living room. But I think this is good for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select with the window and move all these walls back because I need more room. I'm going to move them back 4 feet. And now I'm going to move this stair back 4 feet as well. I don't know what I would put behind this stair. That's the only thing. And I'm going to have a hallway above this. So Again, I'm thinking in 3D, and even though I'm not necessarily modeling these 3D elements at the moment, I'm sort of visualizing it as I go. So I'm going to lay out a dash line, which basically means something's above you. And I am thinking about the hallway because I want you to come up the stairs. There'll be bedrooms, offices on this side, and then there'll have to be a hallway for you to walk and get over to this side, which will be the master bedroom area. Actually, that probably won't work because I want this to be a double height space. So we're going to have to see how that ends up working out because I want this whole space to be double height. And then we're going to need to get a lot more program in here. So this might have to bump out completely. So I might be able to put the living room back here and then make it an outdoor area, which is what I was thinking about before. I was like, I don't know if I really like the living room at the front of the house. I feel like this could just be like an office space or a spare bedroom, and then a dining room would go back here. I'm probably going to have to make this bigger just because if I put in an island, I can already kind of get the feeling that the kitchen is way too small. This is a really big island. It is 4'2" deep, so I'm going to make it 3 feet deep by 8 feet long is a bit weird of a proportion. 6 feet. So that's not terrible, but I want it to face the other way. And when I do that, I can see that I don't have enough comfortable space on either side, so I'm going to have to make this volume a little bit bigger, which is fine. Everything is obviously going to get bigger and grow. I'm thinking about how if this is going to be a double height space, this could be the area for the master bedroom, closed and private, and this could be, or maybe I'll put the master bedroom on this side and then an office on the front. So the master looks out to the backyard, and then the 2 offices and the guest bedroom look out front. But I really want the living room to be a double height space from all of my inspiration pictures. I don't even know where I'm clicking on this, and it's supposed to be showing this like blue line. Show me the line of where it's taking the elevation, but it's not doing that. See how this one, a blue line, shows up? I don't know why this one. Clip width line. I really thought that was going to be what solved it. Clip width line. But no, those are all set to be clip with outline. It's fine. Some things in Revit are just a mystery. So again, I always jump all over the place when I'm designing. It's just like how my brain works. I'm all over the place. This again is the dash line for the landing above. We have a 4-foot stair. We have a 3-foot hallway. I don't know how I managed to draw that perfectly at 3'6", but that's a great hallway for us. So I'm going to move this over 4 feet. I'm going to move the island over 2 feet. And now we have a bit more room. And I probably would do a double sink, but I'm not designing the kitchen right now. I'm just laying out where the casework and the island and all that jazz is going to be. So again, if I look at some of my reference inspiration images, which let me pop over to them, going very much for this 2-volume peak with a connection, a lot of open glass, the structure being exposed. Really loving this. And then this is a kitchen. This is a living room where it has an open area, two height area with the stairs and the glass and like this little walkway above. So I'm going to see how that can get worked into my plans. But again, these are just some of the inspiration images that I am working off of as a little bit of precedence, and this is just my program again. So we are going for vibes like that. I'm definitely going to move this up. I'm thinking that I might wrap it up and over. I feel like that could be interesting. So let's do that really quick. Turning the corner. The 4-foot wide stair because I love a big stair. But I think having it turn the corner, we have a better moment where we can have like that walkway up here. So like when you walk out of your bedroom, you can sort of see. I don't know if the 4-foot stair is too much. It's taking up a lot of space. But we'll see. All right, so I'm just gonna make this. I'm gonna go ahead and make that 20 feet wide. I'm just gonna send it, make it really wide. This is gonna be all floor. It's gonna come up. And there's gonna be a floor here, and you're gonna have to get over here. And I want you to be able to look down to the living room below. But I also know that I need to have a bedroom, so I kind of want this to align. And then I could possibly do a little built-in bench here. Or a closet area, just so when you come in you have, but I don't want you to feel boxed in when you come inside. Maybe I'll just do a little wing wall on either side. I really want the stair to be aligned to that wall, because then above there'd be a wall for the bedroom. And we would just be looking down onto the stairs. So that would probably be the hallway. And you'd be able to look up, or look down rather. Maybe it goes over here. Now I'm just moving stuff, you know? Just seeing. Then we have this above our heads, like the floor above our heads, and it opens to the double height space, and the stairs come over and they wrap around. We could even have the stairs do this, so they're not that much into the space. Move that out. That's definitely going to have to align for the roof reasons of it all. And then this is going to have to get wider. Back to the 20 feet. And this is going to have to move over. See, everything is just shifting and growing. That is a very out of scale version of a couch. The couch would be like that. Stairs would come up. There'd be a balcony up here. This would be a 2-story space. And then you would see, you'd have a little wall. And this would be the office space above. So those dashed lines are just representing some things that are going to be on the second floor that I'm trying to map out. So this again is going to be a double height space, and this is going to be how in all those images you could look up and see that balcony. And I really love that. And in the pictures, also what I liked was the kitchen kind of flowed to it. So I think this is a good opportunity to actually move the kitchen over here. I think that works really well. This is a massive kitchen. And then maybe put the dining room table going this way. And then maybe pull this back so it stops at the island, and then have a dining room configuration here. And then over here we could have those offices, and then upstairs we could just do the master and then a bedroom. I know I said I wanted to do the two office. I really wanted to do a lot of things on the upper level, but it just doesn't really make sense. I wanted to do a huge master with a walk-in closet and a bathroom. I need to have a public bathroom up there. I need to have a public bathroom down here actually as well. I didn't list those on my program sheets. Oops. I definitely don't think I could fit 2 offices, a guest room, a bathroom, and the master suite all up there. So I think the 2 offices are going to have to come downstairs to the first floor, and then I'm going to have a master and a guest bath and a toilet upstairs. But I need to do a toilet down here too, and I don't know where I'm going to do that. I could do a little powder room right off the entry, but I don't know if that's kind of weird. I also realized I don't have a pantry. But I feel like we have so much kitchen storage that maybe we just don't need a pantry. I've never had a pantry. I don't know if this house feels like it should have a pantry. But it's fine. So I'm going to create a little hallway. And maybe the bathroom is just in the middle. It's definitely too small, but the bathroom will be in the middle. Office. And then these faces could also be different. They don't have to align, but when we get to the exterior, we'll look into that more. Let me do a normal door. So I'm going to do this. And I also want to make it smaller because residential doors are never actually 3 feet wide. So I'm going to rename this, call it interior. I'm going to do 2'8" by 6'8" tall. And I'm in feet and inches in the United States. So I'm sorry if you're in meters, I'm not. So that's just me changing all of those and then figuring out where these doors would be. I think that looks good. I'd actually want there to be like a pass-through to the backyard. And then have this also be a wall to the backyard. I want a big 4 slider here and then a 3 slider here. So I'm going to write that because I'm going to have to go download these from a website. But we're going to put a 4 slider here and a 3 slider here. This is sort of going to be the TV wall. This is probably going to have to be pushed back. Into sort of like a U shape. We'll see how a better one lays out. We can also pull this out a little bit more so it's not as awkward. Maybe shift this down a little bit. Now I'm really just shifting things randomly here. But I wanted to give this front volume more space so that the offices looked the same. Obviously I'll measure to see if they are. But right now I don't know if they are. I'm just eyeballing it. But I'm just going to put a toilet and a sink. in this bathroom. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm gonna flip the door. And honestly, even this is too big, so that's probably a good size bathroom. You can move these doors a little bit off. And those are the offices. This is the front foyer. To make our lives easier, we could just align these walls. Could move this door into a closet here. I'm also using 2x6 studs everywhere. Really, the interior one should be 2x4. I'll probably go in later and maybe change that detail, but for this exercise, it doesn't really matter. Okay. We have our closet door. And we have, I'm just going to do a detail line. And I'd put a small little bench here. I'm gonna make sure it's deep enough, probably like 1'6". So again, these dashed lines are just to show where the walls are going to be upstairs for the bedroom. And this is the walkway that is going to be overlooking the double height living room when you come up from the stairs. And then there'll be this area in the middle of the connection piece. And I really want to do that dormer thing here above the stairs with the pop-up windows in the hallway. And I might have to do it on the back of the house because I have this walkway here and I'll have walls to the bedroom here. So I would have to like jog, create extra hallway space if I wanted to do that in front of the foyer. I could probably do it, but it on both sides. One will be the laundry room here, and it'll have the little dormer windows for the outside to look that way. And then on this side, there was that interior image, I'm going to pull it up, of walking through this one. And that is going to be on the back side looking out to the backyard. So this will be the main hallway of that in that connection piece. And then we'll have those dormer windows for the hallway here. And then on the outside, you won't be able to tell that this will be a laundry room on the second floor. But it's also going to have aesthetically those little shed dormers above the windows. So I'm excited to do that there. I think that's going to work out good. Again, that's just me planning with little dashed lines to sort of figure out where things are going to be above and below. But if I just add some text, which is TX, I could also do room tags. With the area. Okay, so this is office. This is really small, so let me change this, name an area. Okay. MA to match the tag properties. This is office. So our offices are a little bit different in size. I'm just labeling all these rooms because we have a good start for our first floor and our volume overall. I'm gonna have to do room separation lines, I couldn't say that, which basically just divide this open space. It's gonna say it's not available to be seen, but if I turn the light bulb on, it's just hidden. And there it is. So now I know the room is only going to be placed counting that area. And then I'll do living. Got to do another room separation for the kitchen. I guess I'm going to count this as kitchen and dining, and then we'll have to count this as the foyer. Foyer, and then kitchen dining. I won't do this area. I won't do the closet either. Foyer. I really wanted the foyer to have like the big open something above it, but can't really do that with the living room and the foyer. It's not really possible. I need to utilize space. And with the massing of the house being in 2 different volumes with the connection piece, I think this makes the most sense. I really like this flow, which is what I was inspired by in a lot of my reference images, like the kitchen with the stairs and the open double height living room all flowing like that, and having that, again, that walkway up above. So when you come in the foyer, you won't have that huge grand double height opening, but you'll come over and get that beautiful experience in this whole living room area. But when you walk in the foyer, you'll be able to be greeted by this nice triple slider, and I think we'll be able to do maybe some structural pieces right in this area to really call attention to it on the inside. I'll have to see how that works out and how that looks with the dormers and all those things kind of working together. So I'm just going to move that for now. We have kitchen, dining, living. And that is what we're looking at right now. I can move this wall just to make these even. Let's see what that is. Let's make this 13.4. Alright, so I think that is a really good start for our first floor. We sort of have an idea what's going to be happening on our second floor a little bit volumetrically, where we're going to be adding some glass, and I am excited to continue to see how this develops. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. This was so much fun. I'm glad with the progress we made. I'm just curious to see what the overall dimensions of this house is right now. So I know it's kind of a weird shape, but I just want to see what the overall dimensions. So we have 20 by 41 for this volume. And then, oh, there's this right here. 16 by 12.4 for the foyer middle portion. Then we have 16 by 34.10. So that's interesting. I don't know what the square footage is. I'll have to calculate that next time. Obviously, we could add all these up, but I'm not counting certain spaces. But yeah, I'm excited to add the second floor next time. And then once I have the second floor and the basement done, we'll start designing and adding more details to each space and to the exterior as well. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you guys next week. I will be voting on the Instagram for the time. I'm not sure how people feel about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to do a vote for 4 p.m. and I'm going to do a vote for 5 and for 7. So if you could give me your feedback on when you want me to go live every Monday with my series, that would be great. I'd love to have you live. I'd love to have your input. But I will see you guys next Monday, and we can continue this project.